That needs to change, Monica, if you're watching this. What's up, Pad fam? How are you guys doing today? You obviously can't answer that because you're through a phone screen or a TV screen or a computer screen, so I don't know why I always ask how you're doing today, but comment below, yeah, how are you doing today? You can answer. Firstly, before I start this video, I want to thank you guys. We've hit 40,000 subscribers. How ridiculous is that? There's 40,000 of us. Thank you so much for that. It really, really does mean a lot, and I really do appreciate it. And I know saying thank you over a YouTube video is never going to kind of do it justice, and you're never going to understand truly how I feel just through words through a YouTube video, but if there's any way to prove how grateful I am, then let me know, because it's amazing. But anyway, today, what I thought I would do is Monica, my beautiful girlfriend, recently put up a video on her YouTube channel, her personal YouTube channel, youtube.com/Monica Gartner, answering a bunch of your questions. And what I thought I'd do is basically on my channel give you guys a boyfriend's point of view on those same questions. So I watched Monica's video this morning and wrote down all the questions. Actually, not all of them, because 2 of the questions were pretty much the same thing. So I ignored a couple of the questions, but I wrote down pretty much all the questions that Monica answered recently on her YouTube video, which I'll put a link in the description to Monica's video. And I just thought it'd be cool to give a boyfriend's perspective on those questions. So yeah, after this video, if you want to check out Monica's answers, then like I said, click the link below. I'll put a link to Monica's video. But let's get going. First question is, how long have you been doing long distance? So obviously my answer is going to be exactly the same as Monica's. We've been doing long distance since the 16th of October 2015, which in just under 2 weeks will be 3 years time. However, unfortunately, we're not actually together for this anniversary, for our 3-year anniversary, because due to being long distance, I live 3,297 miles away from Monica. It's quite hard to actually be together for everything because we don't have citizenship to each other's countries. We can only visit for certain periods of time, etc, etc. But yeah, we've been doing long distance for just under 3 years now, and actually we have spoken, this kind of sounds a bit weird and creepy, but we have spoken every single day. We haven't missed a single day since July 2015. So in over 3 years, we've spoke every single day, which is kind of crazy. Next question is, how do you cope with being apart, and what do you do to keep your mind occupied? So how I cope with being apart is, as Monica answered, Monica said she keeps herself busy. I do exactly the same. I'm currently running like 4 different companies. I'm very, very busy. Honestly, whenever I'm not filming YouTube videos and when I'm not online, I'm working. I work, depends on the day and how much I have to do, but between 12 and 16 hours a day, which I know sounds crazy, but it's what I've got to do if I want to, you know, if I want my dreams to come true, if I want my businesses to succeed, I've got to do that. So that's how I keep myself busy. That's what I do, really. I just work. Next is, how do you deal with supporting each other and being there for one another, especially if both or one of you has a busy schedule and considering the time difference? So I'll go on to the time difference first. The time difference, as Monica mentioned, is massive. Well, it's not massive. The thing is, the time difference is 5 hours between the UK and New York. So that means that when it's 10 AM here, and I've done a few hours of work and stuff, Monica is 5 AM over there and she's fast asleep. The thing that makes the time difference much bigger though is the fact that I wake up very early, kind of naturally. I don't need an alarm, and I just kind of naturally wake up at about 6 AM every day. I just kind of get going with work, really. Monica, on the other hand, wakes up at about 10 or 11. So the time difference actually is about 9 hours, because, so for example, when I'm up at 6 AM, it's 1 AM Monica's time, and Monica doesn't wake up for another 9 hours, like 10 AM, 11 AM even. So that's what makes the time difference massive. I don't go to bed super early. I go to bed probably about 11:30, 12, and I'm up by about 6. I don't really need that much sleep every night. I get about 6 hours or so, maybe 5.5. So yeah, Monica, on the other hand, loves her sleep. She gets like at least kind of 12 hours a day. But yeah, so how we get around the time difference and our busy schedules is just whenever we get a free 5 minutes or so, we FaceTime and catch up and tell each other what we're doing for the day. And because we run a business together, it's actually much easier to stay in contact, because we have to be in contact for business purposes. So for that reason, we're in contact a lot more than the majority of long distance relationships, simply because 70% of our time talking is about business, and we're having group Skype chats with clients and potential clients, and you know, we're Skyping each other just talking about business stuff rather than our relationship. We try to keep our work and our personal life separate. So when we're talking about work, we're work partners, and then when we talk about life, we're life partners. So that's how we try and work it. So that's how we support each other. We work together, so supporting each other just kind of comes naturally because we have to. And the time difference, we deal with that by basically as soon as Monica wakes up every morning, she FaceTimes me, and then we get to talk about like personal things and what we're going to do for the day and stuff like that. And then before I go to bed every evening, I FaceTime Monica as I brush my teeth and do my kind of nightly routine, which is, well, my nightly routine is basically brushing my teeth and washing my face. But I FaceTime Monica then, we have a catch up and, you know, talk about what we did for the day and stuff like that. And in between, whenever we get 5 minutes free, we just kind of quickly call each other and catch up and, you know, just let each other know what we're thinking about each other, really. Next is, does Monica sleep in your clothes? Yes, every single night. Monica actually wears my clothes more than I do. Literally, so basically when Monica started spending more time in the UK, I bought a second kind of closet, like a second clothes rack, wardrobe kind of thing for her to put her clothes on. So she's basically in my bedroom right now, I've got a clothes rack for me and a clothes rack for her. And basically the way she works it is she calls one of the clothes racks her clothes rack because that's got all her clothes on, and the other clothes rack, she calls that her premium closet, which means that she basically it's my clothes that she steals. She brings a majority of them back to America with her as well, so I'm kind of left without my favorite clothes as she wears them. But it means I can pack light when I go over to America, so it's not that much of a problem. But yes, simple answer to the question is yes, she sleeps in my clothes every single night. She wears my clothes more than she wears her own clothes. The next question is, how do you deal with opposite schedules and friends' time versus time with each other? So I've already talked about opposite time schedules and how we deal with the time difference and working together and how often we FaceTime stuff, so I'm not going to touch on that. But friends' time versus time together, it's kind of difficult, this one, because while we're apart, obviously we dedicate most of our time to our friends, you know, catching up with friends, and I get a chance to actually catch up and work because Monica just wants to cuddle all day, every day, when we're together, so I don't get as much work done when I'm with Monica. That needs to change, Monica, if you're watching this. When we're together, we spend most of the time together, and because we kind of live together when we are together, we're together 24/7. Whenever we do want to hang out with friends, which is maybe say once or twice a week, we dedicate all our time to our friends. So for example, if I wanted to go up to Harrogate to see my friend Josh, for example, I wouldn't have a problem with going up there for a day and, you know, hanging out with him for the day and giving him kind of my sole attention for a day, just because I get to spend 24/7 with Monica when I'm not with my friends. So that's how we kind of deal with that. We put each other first because we live together when we're together and we spend 24/7 together. But when we do want to go and see our friends, we kind of dedicate all our time to our friends. The thing I absolutely hate is when couples are in a relationship and they go and see their friends and they're just texting their partner the whole time. It's like, no, like, you're seeing your friends to see your friends and catch up with your friends and spend quality time with your friends, so do that. So that's kind of how I feel about the whole friends versus significant other argument, I guess. The next question is, apart from FaceTime and online dates, what else do you do when you are apart? So like I said, we run a business together called Infinite Management. It's a social media management company, and a lot of our time, like I've said, 70-80% is occupied working together. So apart from like FaceTime and online dates and stuff like that, how we stay together and how we stay, you know, updated in each other's lives is, I don't know, we watch movies online sometimes, but that kind of counts as online dates. So we don't really honestly do anything other than FaceTime and online dates, because what is there to do? When you're living 3,297 miles apart, the only way to contact each other is FaceTime and, you know, say for example, watching a movie together on Netflix. So what I do is we find the same movie on Netflix, because obviously the UK and the USA have different movies, find the same one, and then we just text each other and click play at the same time. We just kind of text each other or FaceTime each other while the movie's going on. So it's kind of like we're watching a movie at the same time. There is actually a website that deals with that as well. It's called Rabbit, RABB.it, I think. I've never used it, but I've heard of it. It's like an online kind of chat room. As far as I know, it's like an online chat room where you can both watch movies and play games and stuff together, which is quite cool. I do need to check that out, and a lot of people have told me about that. But yeah, no, honestly, most of the time we're either Skyping, we try and have online dates where we like Skype or FaceTime and eat dinner at the same time, or watch movies at the same time, or play like online games. We used to play Club Penguin, which was, we weren't actually interested in Club Penguin, we just wanted to find a way to play online together. So we do that. What I've always thought would be really cool as well is for us both to get virtual reality, so like Oculus Go, I think it's called, or like HTC Vive or anything like that. And then we can like live in a virtual world together, and we can like play games together and actually kind of like see each other through the headsets. I thought that'd be quite cool, but we haven't done that yet. Simple answer to the question is we don't really do anything other than FaceTime and online dates because there isn't really anything to do. The next question is, do you get jealous? I think this means specifically when we're away from each other, and honestly, no. I don't get jealous whatsoever. I'm the most easygoing person you'll ever come across. I never ever get jealous. Monica could be hanging out with 10 guys and just her, and I really don't care. Mainly because I know most of Monica's guy friends. Well, actually, I know all of Monica's guy friends in America, and I'm friends with them myself, and they're really cool guys. So, you know, I fully trust them, and more importantly, I fully trust Monica. I know for a fact she's never going to do anything, so what's the point in getting jealous? When we're actually together, Monica does get jealous sometimes, like if a girl like checks me out, or, you know, if I'm like texting one of my friends that's a girl and Monica thinks, you know, maybe she fancies me or something like that. She used to do that a lot more than she does now. She trusts me a lot more now. But because I was her first serious relationship, whereas Monica wasn't my first serious relationship, I feel like it was much more of a learning curve, and she had to get used to the whole kind of relationship thing a lot more than I did, because I've been through this and done this before, so hence why I don't get jealous anything like as much as she does. So for example, an example of how easygoing I am, we were on a night out once, and this guy came up to Monica trying to like chat her up and like dance with her and stuff like that. And I have to be honest, I didn't think he was any competition whatsoever. Like, I know that sounds quite vain and you know, thinking quite highly of myself, but you don't need to think highly of yourself to look at someone else and be like, yeah, my girlfriend's never going to go for them. So I did that, and I realised this guy isn't a threat whatsoever. So he started like trying to chat with Monica and like dance with Monica and stuff like that, and Monica was like kind of beckoning me over to be like, Sam, like, you know, come and tell him you've got a boyfriend. And I was like, no, I want to see how this goes down. So I put on like a camp voice. I was like, go girl, you have fun. And like kind of walked off and just left her, and she had to dance off with this guy and then rejected him. It was the funniest thing ever. But yeah, most boyfriends would go crazy when another guy tries to chat with their girlfriend, but as long as you trust your girlfriend, what's the point? I mean, guys can try, and they do try, but they're never going to get anywhere, so why bother? So no, I don't get jealous whatsoever. The next question is, how do you deal with arguments? So honestly, we don't really argue very often, and when we do argue, it's about silly things. So for example, Monica is the most indecisive person you will ever come across in your entire life. So for example, if I feel like I've chosen the restaurant when we've eaten out the past 5 times and ask her where she wants to eat, every single time she'll go, I don't know, wherever you want to go. And I'm like, Monica, please just make up your mind. So that's what we don't really have arguments about it, but I get frustrated with her sometimes because she doesn't think for herself. She just kind of goes along with whatever I want to do. So I want her to be more individual and do what she wants to do sometimes, rather than just going along with what I want to do. So that's sometimes what we argue about. Other times is when she's in the UK. Like I said, I rise very early, so I wake up at like 6 a.m. naturally every day. And Monica wakes up at like 11 a.m. every day. So that's even when we're living together, we're 5 hours apart. And Monica goes to bed way later than me and everything like that. So I sometimes get a bit annoyed by how late she wakes up, because it's not necessary whatsoever. Like, do you really need to wake up at 11 a.m. every day? It's kind of crazy. So that's the only things we really ever argue about. It doesn't really count as arguments. It's just like, you know, a little comment here and there being like, God, can you just wake up already, please? And stuff like that. But we never really get into arguments about it. But how we deal with it is when we do kind of get annoyed at each other, and we do sometimes, I have to admit it, like every relationship, you know, no relationship's perfect. You are going to argue sometimes. However, with us, like I said, it's never ever anything big. And what we do is we just kind of talk through it. Once Monica's woken up, we talk through it and then resolve the argument. Just never let anything kind of go without settling it, because tension will just build up and build up and build up until finally someone explodes and has a massive yelling fit. So that's never happened with us, and don't let that happen with you. So yeah, guys, anyway, that was answering all of the questions that Monica answered from obviously her boyfriend's perspective, me, Sam. Nice to meet you. So if you enjoyed that and you want to see more kind of stuff like that, then let me know. Drop a link below. Drop a comment below. And if you want to watch Monica's video, like I said, I'll put a link in the description to Monica's video so you can see how she feels about the questions from like the girlfriend's perspective. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much again for 40,000 subscribers. I can't believe I'm saying that. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. Keep the love alive. Like it, comment, and subscribe. Peace. I love you and goodbye.